Is work stressing you out, or are you stressing at work?
Great question.
Thanks.
By the way, this is Tara and Roxanne here to help you calm your mind so you can enjoy your life. And today we have a download for you below, a PDF of some breathing techniques that's our gift to you to help you kind of find that inner tranquility that you need in life. So do yourself a favor and go get that.
Yeah.
Okay, Roxanne, work stress.
Yes. Turns out I was looking up some stats for a different project we're doing, which is coming soon.
Yes.
And they said that 80% of people stress out at work.
Staggering number.
80%.
Yes.
That is huge, people.
That is huge.
But that perplexed me a little bit because we choose the jobs, we apply for them, but sometimes we get what we can get, right?
Right.
We're not always, we don't exactly have the cream of the crop
Right.
of choices, but we need to work. But a lot of it is our mindset, right, guys? It really is the meaning that we attach to either the work we're doing, where we're doing it, whatever it is that's stressing us out. So we want to look into that a little bit so you don't have to stress out at work. We spend too many hours in our job and of our day. It's going to ruin all of your day. So we're here to help a little bit.
So some of the topics, we'll go through some of these that you can possibly be, there'll be more, but these are some things we came up with, is that sometimes at work you do some comparing.
Oh, yes.
Your job, your skills, your performance, your numbers, your whatever.
I've done it, and it causes so much stress.
Yes.
So we kind of went through a few things that would bring out that 80% of stress. What about feeling trapped?
Absolutely.
That was the one I wrote down.
Yeah.
Right? You feel like I have to be here. Somebody's telling me when to come, when to go, what to do. It's just rude, honestly. And I know they're paying you at the end of it, but still, it doesn't feel good while you're doing it, in my view.
Right.
Yeah.
And also now, lack of external appreciation.
Yeah.
Maybe your management doesn't appreciate you, your coworkers don't appreciate you.
Anybody ever take credit for what you do?
Ooh, that hurts.
That'd be stressful.
Yeah.
What about the drama?
Oh,
How much
boy.
drama do we participate in or create when we're at work? I mean, honestly, that can get pretty tense, like a schoolyard sometimes.
It is.
Yeah,
it
depending
is.
on where you work.
Little junior high-ish.
Absolutely.
Don't do it.
Ooh, good one.
Additional responsibilities. Maybe you feel that that management sees you having time to do way more things than you feel you have time to do.
Yes.
And they give you additional responsibilities. And
With
duties.
no raise.
Oh, dear.
Right.
Oh, dear.
Right? They're like, yeah, you'd be all right. You'd be really good at that. You do that. I'm going to go golfing. That is the perception, right?
Right.
Yeah. I've been in the employee and the management position both, and that is the perception when you're in one spot. You don't quite understand the other, and that can generate a lot of frustration and stress,
Right.
of course.
Right.
How about being overloaded? I have a hard time with that one. You know that.
I've
but
seen lots
it
of
happens.
people, work-life balance. You
It's true.
too much to do in too short of time, and yet you have to get it done, and wow, there goes your life.
Yeah, it's true.
So
What about being understimulated? This is one that because you do the same thing day after day, so hence creating the drama,
right.
right? You have to keep yourself engaged and have a new thing to focus on or worry about or problem to solve. Our minds are very active, and if we're in a redundant, kind of repetitious kind of activity, especially for 8 to 10 hours a day, forget it. Your mind's going to come up with all sorts of problems just to keep itself entertained.
So what are some of the things that we
So,
can offer
yes.
as solutions to some of this?
Now that we get it, right?
we do
it.
get
Yeah.
it. Trust me, we do get it.
There are things, at the end of the day, I know nobody wants to hear this, well, that's not true, but most aren't going to like hearing this, but it really is the meaning that you attach to it. It's not what you're doing, it's not who you're doing it with, and it's not if anybody tells you you're doing a good job. It really isn't. I do get that people perform better when they're being appreciated, this and that, but it really is an external validation, and so we're giving more power to the people who were complaining that have all the power. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Yeah,
it
but
does.
it's lunacy when you hear it.
When you're-
But it is what we do. So you have a lot of choices. You have choices. I have choices. We all have choices. And so you brought a really good point up of looking at your options.
Looking at your
right?
options
Yeah.
and see what's best for you. Maybe a different position at work is better for you. Maybe you use this job and this time to fine tune that resume and look for something outside the
Yeah.
company. Or you educate yourself.
Yeah.
There's always pick a lane and go, man, I'm going to become the best in this. Whatever you do, you want to become your best.
Yeah.
Do your best, even if it's a menial job, because your name's on it. So make that count.
That is huge.
That is
and that
huge.
will reduce some of it because you know you did a good job at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, I know I
Right.
did my best. There,
Right.
leave it. Leave it at work and go home to the life.
Yes, that is a very good point. I was going to mention, I'm glad that she did, is leaving it at work. That's something I had a hard time doing. I get all consumed with certain things at certain times. And so it throws off the rest of your life, like you mentioned, work-life balance just a minute ago.
It really does.
And so if something happens at work and you have to come tell that story at home, now you've invited that feeling, that condition, the coworker, or the customer, or your boss into your home.
carries on.
Would you bring them home with you?
Right.
No, that's exactly what you're doing there. And all that energy and frustration that you felt there is now here, and you blame the job. Fact is, you got to have some clear boundaries in order to have that separation. Actually, wait, 10-hour days, like I was telling her,
Yeah.
the reason at the job that I was doing, we had 10-hour days and then you were off because you could fully give your 10 hours, right? And then that next day, you don't think about your job at all. And you take that full day to spend time with your family, replenish yourself, stock up your fridge and plan for other things, not just work. I think it's super important for that replenishment. Then you can go back and give your all. And at the end of your 10-hour workday, you're like, I'm proud of what I did today, how I contributed, what I accomplished, whatever, as long as you're not comparing to what somebody else did or didn't do that day, right? But as long as it's all about
And that's what you're talking about, is that increase that internal appreciation. Really don't look for it from someone else. Just know
Totally.
what you've done
Yes.
and that you did your best.
Yeah.
So
And at the end of the day, it's temporary because, well, everything's temporary, right? We live and then we die, and we do a lot of things in between, and none of it lasts forever. So it's a means to an end, like you mentioned earlier. So whether you have a different goal, maybe you're working somewhere, like she said, like a less than stimulating job
Sure.
while you're going through school. It's only while you're going through school. Don't complain your way through it. Understand it's a very small blip in the whole
Right.
scheme of your life. It's a stepping stone. Maybe you're working towards a promotion, or like you said, getting educated into a different field or something. Then go ahead. Everybody's searching for more. We're always growing
Right.
into something new and different. This is just one period, one season of your life. And if it's absolutely horrible and it just goes against every fiber of your being, get a new job.
right. Find
Honestly,
something else.
open up Indeed or I don't even know the job sites anymore.
I don't either.
Open up anything and go, who's hiring? And if nothing else, you might go, oh, I don't have it so bad. Because what's out there is paying less or wanting more hours or whatever that looks like. But it will help you get some perspective, or it will help you get a new dream. But either way, yeah.
One last thing I want to touch on, just because I think it's important, is drama. Drama can be very stressful at work. Just don't do it.
Just don't
Seriously.
do it.
Don't do it.
There's got to be something better.
Yep.
A, you could be doing your job more, which would either help you get promoted or get you out of there. If nothing else, it makes your day go by faster.
Yep.
Honestly. And at the end of the day, you can go, I did a really good job. And so you don't need to feel guilty or justify or tear somebody else down because you feel good
Absolutely.
about what you did. Because if we're really honest with ourselves, and I know we've had this conversation, neither
Yep.
one of us cared for it, but it was true nonetheless, is that if you are truly giving of your, doing what you need to do at the end of the day, then you don't feel the need to tear others down so much because there's nothing to justify or explain away or try to detour the attention from.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely.
Does that make any sense?
Absolutely.
I babble.
So, to wrap this up,
Yeah.
we'd love to hear your feedback. Be sure to
Yes.
share anything that you come up with, because that'll help anyone else in the feed. So share with us. Don't forget that breathing technique PDF for you. Really, it'll help you, especially
It's
if you're
a good
stressed
one.
at work.
Yeah.
Breathe.
Next time somebody tries to wrap you up in the drama or your boss just pushes you up, you do the breathing exercise. You don't go to jail and you keep your paycheck. It's a good day.
Perfect thing.
It's a good day. So thank you so much.
Thanks for being here.
See you later.
Bye-bye.